Hey y'all, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
What's good?
And today we are gonna be saying how we feel about young parenting. And Bae, you should go first.
About young parenting?
Yes.
How I feel about young parenting is, I feel like the sooner the better. Now you don't gotta start as soon as we started. What we did, we've been knowing each other since high school. My freshman year, her sophomore year, since literally I had just turned 15. So I've been knowing her basically a fourth of my life already. So y'all don't have to start nothing this early. But what I will say is, it's best to do it while you're still in your 20s, early 20s, mid 20s. I say that's usually the best time. You don't want to get up to 30, and then by the time they graduate, you pushing 50, 60. You don't want to be a grandparent raising kids. Like, you should be chilling at that age. You should be smooth selling at that age. And it's like, in today's times, it's usually the opposite of that. It's usually have fun in your 20s, have fun in your early years, and don't waste those years on no babies. Don't waste those years on anything. But usually, when people say that, they usually goes further than just having kids. They talking about just responsibilities, period. You should just be having fun. Don't worry about no bills. Most people don't even move out their mama's house until they damn near 30. So it's like, stop listening to society, man. Life isn't all about having fun. It's about building legacy. And this is what our channel is all about, is building a legacy, building something that we can pass on to our kids. Not only our kids, but our kids' kids and our future. It's like, we want to be able to build that. And without that, what do you have? Without having kids, what do you really have to pass on? If you start a business, for what? Who can you pass that on to? Like, when this all said and done and your life is over with, who you gonna pass the torch to? Without kids, it's nobody. You really died for nothing. Hopefully you've done enough. You were successful enough to touch somebody outside of your home. But what does that matter if it's not your own bloodline? You want to start your own bloodline. You want to start your own legacy. You want to start your own. There's no other way to say it. You just want to be able to have something for yourself. So the best time to do it, the best time to do anything worth doing is now. Like, while you're young. Get all of it out the way while you're young. If you want to start a business, start it now. You want to start a family, start it now. You want to get in a relationship and grow, start it now. You're not just going to wake up one day and be 40 years old and now you just got this clear blue mindset. How? When all your life, all you've been doing was smoking weed and ducking responsibilities your entire life. How one day you're just gonna wake up and that just magically poofs? That's only in movies and fairy tales, where the plot is written for that character to do that. That's not real life. Your life isn't just written out for you. You have to create it. You have to go out there and do these things. This isn't a movie. This isn't a cartoon. This is actual reality, actual facts. You have to live in the truth. You have to live in the truth. And the truth is, start now. But again, I know I'm rambling, but the point is, how I feel about children is, it's hard some days. Obviously it's hard. Nobody wants to wake up and hear crying all day. Nobody wants to hear screaming all day. Right before we even was recording, the kids are in the back. What were they doing? Screaming, crying, and yelling and otherwise. Pouring water on each other. It gets crazy. And it's like, nobody wants to deal with that, but that's what comes with growing a legacy. It's hard. In the beginning stages, everything is hard. But it's not going to be like that forever. It gets easier as time progresses. But I'd rather do this now than when I'm 35, 40 years old, and I'm old. And now I'm 40 years old. I want to chill, but I'm raising and going and chasing after babies, and really got to hear that screaming and stuff. Now my nerves, because life done hit me hard. My nerves ain't how they was when I was young. And nobody wants to deal with all that, man. Nobody wants to deal with the bullshit, man. Like, it's nothing wrong with having kids, man. It's nothing wrong. Now, you ain't got to go out here and have 1 million kids, but start a legacy. Give something to pass on to somebody. Like, if you're in a good, committed relationship and y'all plans on getting married, then y'all should plan on eventually start talking about starting a family, growing with each other. Start talking to each other about goals that y'all have in mind. Like, relationships isn't just about having fun and stacking bread together. What are y'all stacking y'all bread up for? To have fun? Just to go on dates whenever you want to? Okay, that's fun for a little bit, but y'all in this for the long run. Y'all want to deal with each other to eventually have kids, don't y'all? That's why God gave you a penis and God gave her a vagina to reproduce. That's why, like, use these things for how they're used for. But most people want to do things without responsibility. If you're having sex, you should be willing to take care of your responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and I agree with him. Like, that's crazy because I was actually gonna say that. I was gonna say, if you having sex, if you laying down and having sex, you should be able to take care of your responsibility. Like, I feel like if you feel like that you could just have sex and just and not be able to take care of responsibility, that's immature and that's irresponsible. But how I feel about having kids young, I agree with Tay. Like, you should definitely do it while you're young instead of doing it, like he said, when you're 35 and your late 20s. Like, you should do it while you're young. Like, I don't know about nobody else, but I want to have a lot of kids, and our goal is to have some twins. So if we have to have 10 kids before we get our twins, that's what we're gonna do. Like, I love kids. Like, they really teach you a lot about patience and everything. Like Tay said, some days don't be peaches and cream. Some days Jacine wake up tripping, Janaria wake up tripping, but most of the days we do have a good time. Like, you always gonna have the old heads talking about how, like Tay said, kids gonna ruin your life and all of this, and how you will never be able to do nothing, and kids stop what you're doing and all. But yeah, like I was saying, like, they always say that kids ruin your life and stuff like that. And honestly, they don't ruin nothing. They should elevate you. They should push you and make you want to do better for you and them. Like, and me and Tay we are literally living proof that kids do not slow you down. Kids do not make you not want to achieve goals and stuff. Like, people that say that they didn't want to have kids, and because they don't, and because they didn't want to deal with the responsibility, and because
Why you feel like they don't want to have kids?
Because why would you say something like that? Your kids, you supposed to be happy that you have a kid. Your kid's supposed to motivate you. Your kid's supposed to push you, make you go harder. It's not supposed to slow you down or nothing like that. People don't want to have kids because they don't want to have responsibilities. They don't want to take care of responsibilities. They want to go out and keep partying and be nothing.
30's the new 20, man. Everybody want to stay a kid. Nobody ever wants to grow up. Nobody wants to be a man. Nobody wants to be a woman. Everybody wants to stay a little girl to a little boy their entire life. Like, that's why you got grown ass people still running around saying, I'm going nice out with the girls, and this person is pushing 40. This person is pushing 50 years old. They still talking about having nice out with the girls. Nice out with the boys. How old are you, dude? Act your age, man. Nice out with the guys or nice out with the ladies sound cool, but you
girls
still
and boys.
Yeah, you hanging out with girls and boys, man. Grow up, man. Like, it's time for people to, like, really start to take life serious. Like, the moment you graduate high school is the moment you're grown. Like, some people consider it 21, but it started you're grown way before that, 3 years way before that. The moment you're able to vote for the leader of America, for the United States, the most powerful man in the world, the president, or you're a grown adult at that point. Like, you're making the biggest decision, possibly one of the biggest decisions of your life. How are you not grown? And it's like, most people got to start taking accountability, taking responsibility, and being okay with standing up to that. A lot of people fold under pressure. A lot of people can't handle pressure, so that's why they can't handle kids. But it's like, stop using the excuse of I'm not ready and get ready. Man up, woman up, get ready. Otherwise, stop having sex. Because it's not like we just out here virgins and celibate. Everybody out here that says the stuff is still having sex every single weekend, every other day, every day, multiple times a day. But yet you don't want kids. How do you think kids come? Like, we too old to still be believing the stork drop them off. Like, no, you come from having sex, sleeping in the bedroom, doing the nasty. And it's like, we gotta stop being so delusional. We gotta start telling the truth. Like, it's not the fact that kids are a problem. It's the problem is we're bringing kids up in bad conditions, unsuitable conditions. People don't want to grow up. The moment people find out they're pregnant, they still doing the same things that they were doing that was messing their lives up before. They're still currently doing those things. They don't want to get rid of those things. Like, if you don't love yourself, at least love your child enough to change. Like, that's the least you can do. And it's like, most people would rather kill their kid in the first stages of his life than man up and take responsibility. Like, that's how bad this stuff is. Most people would rather get an abortion as early as the first 6 weeks, didn't even give life a chance, than man up. That's how scared people are of becoming an adult. That's how people are scared of life. Like, that's a sad world. That's some coward. Like, you that scared you're willing to take a life for yourself? That's selfish. Like, that is very, very selfish. Yeah, that's really my main thoughts on that. Like, you got anything else?
And I know people probably gonna watch this and be like, well, that's what we have birth control for. Birth control is not meant for no one's body. But birth control will destroy your eggs. You will not be able to have a kid. You should not stop when you want to. When you should not be able to choose when you want to have a kid. Like,
you should. The only way to do that is just not have sex. If you can choose when and when not to have kids by not having sex. You're not ready for a kid, don't have sex. You ready for a kid? Keep doing what you've been doing. Like, it's that simple. But if you're not ready, stop doing these things. And then another thing is, I don't agree with having kids in 14, 15, 16, 17, but we shouldn't treat 18, 19 plus as the same way we do with kids in high school. Like, the moment you're grown, the moment you can make a decision. Like, the moment you can consent to this lifestyle. Like, if you can consent to sex, you can consent to a baby. Like, you can consent to starting a life, starting a family. Like, but anything before then, I don't agree with that at all. But you can't treat a damn grown-ass adult as still a child. You're a young adult, but you're still a child. Or you're still an adult. You're not a child no more. And it's like, most people, again, 30's the new 20. So most people still look at life from a child's point of view. They never grow up. So that's the problem. But all you gotta do, the solution is to grow up, take responsibility, step up to the plate, swing the bat. But most people scared to do that. Most people are cowards. Most people are average, basic.
And even then, if you do want to start your family young and you worried about what other people gonna say, don't worry about what your mom gonna say. Don't worry about what your family gonna say. It's about you and your partner, and building a family and building a legacy, building a kingdom within y'all self, within y'all relationship. Like, you not laying in the bed with your mom, you not laying in the bed with your grandma. Like, you not going home to them, you not doing none of that. Like, they just talking shit because that's what they grew up on. But in the end, it's a lot of people out here that's still raising kids, and they damn near tasting the dirt. So it's like, don't listen to nobody. You want to go ahead and have a baby, but you go ahead and have that baby. You and your man, you and your fiance want to have that baby, but you worry about what your mama gonna say, or you trying to fulfill your mama's dreams and shit.
You worried about the wrong thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, at that point, you worry about the wrong shit. Forget what your mama's saying, forget what your family's saying, and do what you want to do with your partner. You want to have 10 kids, have 10 kids. Everybody gonna be like, somebody always gonna say, oh, that's a lot of kids, that's too many kids, that's too many kids.
Good thing you don't gotta take care of them.
Right. Like I said earlier in the video, if we have to have 10 kids we have to have 15 for us to get our twins, then that's what we gonna do. And I mean, kids, they bring you life. Like, it's not like I'm telling you, like, me and Tay could be just having a day or something, like, not like a bad day, but we could just be having a day and Jasim do something or say something, or Janaria do something or say something new that they've never done before, and that just lightens up our mood, because we're like, damn, they're a product of us. Like, they're learning from us, they're learning from each other. That's the excitement in parenting. Like, you get to see a kid evolve and grow and do stuff. Like, I don't remember when I started walking, but I feel like that seeing our kids walk and stuff like that, that's the beauty of it all. Like,
literally, like, that's like, to put it in perspective, since we this money hustling culture, to put it in perspective, that's like starting a business or getting your new job and you see that first paycheck. Like, you start to see progression. Like, you start to actually see what you can do. And like, when you have a kid and you actually start to see them mimic you actually start to see progress. Like, it feels different. It hit hard. Like, it makes you proud of yourself. It makes you proud of your kid. It makes you proud of life, because you know that you brought this. You know that this is you. This is what you created. And it's like, you cannot. How can you be mad at that? Like, how can you be mad at that? You can't be nothing but proud of that. Not every day is gonna be easy, but life ain't easy. Like, not every day is gonna be peaches and cream. Some days, shit, you gotta take a breath. You gotta call somebody, get the kids, have a day, night, or whatever. That happens. It is what it is. But for the most part, 99.999% of the time, it should be you and your kids up until they're grown. You raising them. So that way, by the time they get older, they know what the hell to do. But that's another topic. That's an entire different topic. But moral of the story is, man, there's nothing wrong with starting a family young. There's nothing wrong with having kids. If that's what you want to do, having kids. Don't let nobody talk you out of starting a family and creating new life with somebody that you love and trust. Like, if you trust this person and you enough to share your body with them, you should trust that person enough to share a life with that person. So I see nothing wrong with it. We're doing it. We encourage y'all to build the courage to do it. Again, you ain't got to do it as young as us. If you're in college, wait till you graduate, start a family, find the one, get your career started, whatever you want to do, and start your family, man. But don't wait till it's too late and now you mess around and can't even have kids because you're too damn old, or you can only have one, or nobody wants to go through that.
Yeah. Or even then, if you want to have tons of kids and you tell your mom or your family and they like, that's too many kids, like Tay said, they ain't got to deal with them. That's your kids. You have to understand, your kids are your greatest creation. They're going to carry on your legacy when you leave this planet. They're going to carry on your legacy. They're going to spread your word, your knowledge. They're going to have your intelligence. They're going to have your mind. So it's like you should want to leave something behind so that you can be remembered. Like, I don't understand how people go and through life without having a husband, a wife, or any kids. You dying, and all you can be remembered as a family member. Or I remember when cousin JoJo did this. Like, bro, you should wanna. Oh well, you should want to be known for something. Like, that's the saddest thing ever. It don't matter how much money you got. You still dying alone. Like, your yes, your immediate family is gonna bury you, but you have no wife.
People accept loneliness that's too normalized. Loneliness is way too normalized and accepted. And like, if that was the case, why do they put prisoners in solitary confinement as punishment? Why do people go to the crazy house and get put in soft walls and shit? as punishment. Like, being alone isn't nothing to be celebrated and proud of. Nobody wants to be alone. But again, we're so narcissistic that we would rather be alone than have to deal with another person. That's how crazy we are. Like, that's how selfish we are. It's a sick world. Very, very sick.
Yeah, it's cause all y'all some punk asses. Shit, everybody be punks, bro. Like, nobody want to go through shit. You rather go through some shit than you rather be alone than go through some shit. You a punk ass. Like, life come with obstacles and shit. You gotta learn, and hurdles and shit. You gotta learn how to jump over them shits. Even if you fall, you gotta learn how to get back up. And that's what your spouse and your kids is there for. Your spouse gonna catch you before you even fall, but your kids gonna always tell you should be. Even if you do fall, your spouse and your kids is gonna show you need to get your ass back up. Because if you don't get your ass back up, then what are we gonna have to show for? Like, you should want your kids to be able to show you off. You should want your kids to be able to
brag about you.
Yeah, brag about you. And you should want to brag about your kids. Like, I know I brag about Tay all the time. I brag about our kids all the time. So it's like, it feels good to have somebody brag about you. It feels good to have somebody, well, my dad and my mom accomplished this at this age. The stuff that we accomplishing at our age, 40, 50-year-olds is just now doing. Shit. Like,
that's not even a brag, it's just the truth.
Yeah, like, that's real life. Like, back in the day, ain't nobody doing no shit like this. Ain't nobody about to move halfway across the states and to better their lives with their family and shit like that.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
It's okay.
And the reason they couldn't do that is because it wasn't normalized. And that's the same way in our generation. The reason people cannot do these things is because it's not normalized and people are too scared about society. And again, that's why we're here to break those and just kill those norms off. We're here to kill all those norms that we was brainwashed to think, to kill society, all of that. We trying to destroy all of that way of thinking of marriage is bad, relationships are bad, starting a family with somebody. You can't trust nobody enough to give them a family. We trying to kill all of that because I trust her enough to have kids with her, and she trusts me enough to give me kids. So it's like we want everybody to feel like this, because this is really how life is supposed to be. We're not just supposed to just get all of this money and keep it for ourselves.
Selfish.
Like, give it to each other, spread it. We can all win. It's enough money for everybody. Why do you want it for yourself? If it's enough success and opportunity for everybody, spread it, pass it on.
Yes, we are pro kids. We are pro family, pro black love. It's not enough of that. This is for another video, but I'm just gonna say it's not enough of pro black love, pro kids in today's society. Because I ain't gonna lie, parents is raising hoes and thugs and shit like that. They even your own parents, they be 30, about to hit 40, about to hit 50, and they talking about F them kids and shit. So you saying F me because I'm your kid? Like, that's childish, just immature. Like, no. Like, I don't agree with none of that.
Yeah, but that's all I wanted to say on my behalf. Anything else you want to add on?
No. Well, thanks again for tuning in to our channel. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on y'all post notifications.